The Olmec Colossal Heads are monumental stone representations of human heads sculpted from large basalt boulders, ranging in height from 3.8 to 11.2 feet. These heads date back to at least 900 BC and are iconic artifacts of the Olmec civilization in ancient Mesoamerica. Each head depicts mature individuals with fleshy cheeks, flat noses, and slightly crossed eyes, features still seen among the people of Tabasco and Veracruz today. The first head was discovered in 1862 at Tres Zapotes, but it wasn't until 1938, with the excavation by Matthew Sterling, that serious archaeological investigations began. 17 confirmed examples have been found in the Olmec heartland, with 2 heads from San Lorenzo, Tenochtitlan being recarved from massive stone thrones. What secrets do these colossal heads hold about the Olmec civilization? Watch till the end to discover the intriguing mysteries of the Olmec Colossal Heads. In the late 1850s, a farm worker in southern Veracruz, Mexico, was clearing woodland to make way for a cornfield. As he chopped through the branches and shrubs, he stumbled upon something unexpected. Buried beneath the earth was a large stone structure. Initially, the worker thought it was a giant cauldron, overturned and forgotten. But as he brushed away the dirt and dug around the sides, he realized it was much more remarkable. The stone was intricately carved to resemble a giant head. This discovery, known as La Cabeza Colossal de Hoyapan, was just the beginning. Over time, archaeologists uncovered 17 more colossal heads at 4 different locations. These heads, known as the Olmec Colossal Heads, have provided invaluable insights into the ancient Olmec civilization that thrived thousands of years ago. Most researchers agree that the Olmec Colossal Heads likely depict rulers. These massive sculptures, with their distinctive features and elaborate headgear, were probably memorials. Colossal Head number 5, for example, is thought to represent a ruler of San Lorenzo from the 2nd millennium BC. But who were the Olmecs and what was their civilization like? The Olmec civilization developed in the lowlands of southeastern Mexico between 1500 and 400 BC. Their heartland lay on the Gulf Coast with the states of Veracruz and Tabasco, an area about 275 kilometers east to west, extending around 100 kilometers inland. This region was rich and fertile, providing the resources needed for the Olmec society to thrive. The Olmecs are considered the first major civilization in Mesoamerica, often called the mother culture of the region. Unlike other early civilizations that emerged in arid or temperate zones, the Olmecs developed in a lowland tropical rainforest. This unique setting influenced their culture and achievements. They were among the first in the Americas to build monumental architecture and establish towns and cities. The Olmecs also developed a sophisticated style of stone sculpture, with the colossal heads being prime examples of their artistic prowess. In the first decade of the 21st century, evidence of Olmec writing emerged. The earliest examples of Olmec hieroglyphs date back to around 650 BC. These texts, found on roller stamps and stone artifacts, are short but significant, showing the Olmecs had a written language that influenced later Mesoamerican scripts. This discovery has solidified the Olmec's reputation as a complex society and cultural pioneer in the region. The Olmec societal structure is still somewhat mysterious. Some rulers likely held religious roles, blending political power with spiritual authority. San Lorenzo was the earliest major center, eventually succeeded by La Venta around 900 BC. Tres Zapotes and Laguna de los Cerros were also significant but secondary centers. The exact nature of control these centers exerted over rural populations remains unclear, but the fine art and monumental sculptures suggest a highly organized society. Olmec art, much of it created for elites, includes figurines, masks, and larger sculptures like the wrestler. Pottery figurines were widespread, indicating that while elites commissioned grand works, art was also accessible to the general population. Olmec-style masks, although not found in definitive Olmec contexts, present both similarities and differences to the colossal heads, reinforcing the diversity and richness of Olmec artistic expression. Dating the colossal heads precisely is challenging. The San Lorenzo heads were buried by 900 BC, suggesting they were made earlier. Tres Zapotes heads were moved from their original sites before archaeologists examined them, and the La Venta heads were found partially exposed. This makes pinpointing their production period difficult. Estimates suggest the heads were crafted over a span of 50 to 200 years, likely during the early pre-classic 1500 to 1000 BC, and possibly extending into the middle pre-classic 1000 to 400 BC. The discovery of the Olmec Colossal Heads was just the beginning. These massive stone heads, varying in height from 4 foot 10 inches to over 11 feet and weighing between 6 and 50 tons, are incredible feats of ancient craftsmanship. Each head portrays a mature man with distinct features: flat noses, fleshy cheeks, and slightly crossed eyes. These characteristics are still common among the people in the Olmec region today. The backs of the heads are often flat, suggesting they were originally placed against walls. Distinctive headdresses adorn all the heads. These headdresses, likely made from cloth or animal hide, sometimes include a tied knot at the back and decorations like feathers. A head from La Venta is even decorated with the head of a bird. These headdresses might represent different dynasties or specific rulers, adding another layer of significance to these monuments. Most heads also feature large ear spools, further emphasizing their importance and status. The Olmec Colossal Heads are realistic, unidealized portraits. It is believed that they depict living or recently deceased rulers well known to the sculptors. Each head is distinct, showing individual features and expressions ranging from stern to smiling. While once thought to represent ball players, it's now widely accepted that these heads likely portray rulers, possibly equipped for the Mesoamerican ball game. The Olmec civilization is known for its naturalistic art, which appeared suddenly and without clear antecedents. Over time, their art became more stylized. Wooden sculptures recovered from El Manatee suggest that the Olmecs created many more perishable works than those that survived in stone. In the late 19th century, Jose Melgar y Serrano described a colossal head as having Ethiopian features, sparking speculation about African origins. This theory resurfaced in the 1960s and 70s, but is not taken seriously by most Mesoamerican scholars today. Genetic studies have shown that the earliest Americans had ancestry closer to ancient Paleo-Siberians, not Africans. Despite their similarities, the colossal heads show distinct stylistic differences. One head from San Lorenzo even bears traces of plaster and red paint, suggesting they were originally brightly decorated. These heads did not only represent individual rulers, but also embodied the very concept of rulership itself. Creating each colossal head was a monumental task. Only the most powerful Olmec rulers could mobilize the necessary resources. The workforce included sculptors, laborers, overseers, boatmen, woodworkers, and other artisans. They needed to consider seasonal and agricultural cycles, river levels, and other factors, meaning the entire process could take years from start to finish. Archaeological investigations reveal that the heads were first roughly shaped, using direct percussion to chip away large and small flakes of stone. The surface was then refined with hammerstones and abrasives, which were used to finish the fine details. The heads were carved in the round, featuring higher relief on the face and lower relief on the ear spools and headdresses. All 17 confirmed heads were sculpted from basalt, mined in the Sierra de los Tuxtlas Mountains of Veracruz. Most were made from coarse-grained, dark gray serosynthetic basalt, transported over 93 miles from the source. The exact transportation methods are unknown, but water transport was likely used whenever possible. When land transport was necessary, the Olmecs probably used causeways, ramps, and roads. The flat backs of many heads suggest they were reworked from monumental thrones or flattened to ease transport. 2 heads from San Lorenzo have traces of niches characteristic of Olmec thrones, confirming that they were reworked. But who were these enigmatic people who created such monumental art? The people we call the Olmec lived in southern Veracruz and Tabasco. However, they likely did not call themselves Olmec. This name comes from the Aztec term Olmeca, which referred to people from that region. The term was recorded by a Spanish friar in the early 1500s, after the Spanish invasion. The actual name the Olmec people used for themselves remains unknown, as they left no written records. The land where the first colossal head was found, Tres Zapotes, also wouldn't have been called that by the Olmec. With no written materials to provide insights into their culture, archaeologists rely on their findings to piece together the Olmec story. Scholars disagree on the exact time frame of the Olmec civilization. Some argue it began fading around 1000 BC, while others use radiocarbon dating to place the Olmec from 1150 to 400 BC, fitting them into Mesoamerica's pre-classic period. Most Olmec colossal heads are dated between 1400 and 1000 BC. These heads offer valuable clues about the ancient Olmec way of life. The Olmec, who lived near the San Lorenzo archaeological site, were sophisticated people. They built houses and ceremonial centers from materials like clay. Because the region frequently flooded, they sometimes built two-story houses to avoid water damage. Ingeniously, the Olmec constructed drain lines to channel water away from their plateaus and villages. Archaeologists have found artifacts made from materials not found locally, suggesting the Olmec were part of an extensive trading network with other Gulf region cultures. The colossal heads themselves, made from hard basalt stone from Cerros and Tepic in the Tuxtla Mountains, are a prime example of this, transporting these enormous stones, some weighing up to 8 tons, over 30 miles from the volcano to their final destinations, required remarkable ingenuity and effort. The Olmec likely created causeways to traverse plateaus and access river ports. Despite the immense challenge, they managed to haul these colossal stones up onto the plateaus. Today, the heads have been relocated from their original sites. Most are displayed in museums, while 2 stand in town plazas. These heads continue to captivate and inspire, providing a tangible connection to an ancient civilization that laid the groundwork for future Mesoamerican cultures. The Olmec Colossal Heads are more than just impressive artifacts. They are windows into the past, offering glimpses of a society that mastered art, engineering, and trade in ways that still astonish us today. As we study these monumental sculptures, we gain deeper insights into the lives and achievements of the Olmec people. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of the Olmec Colossal Heads. If you found this exploration fascinating, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep discovering the mysteries of our ancient past.